fight past that fear. And I remember like even right now, you'll when you talk about the war, you'll get the same exact emotion. So my throat's getting dry right now. My heart's starting to beat fast. My body's starting to tighten up. And you feel like you can't even breathe. But you have to focus. You have to take a deep breath. No matter how scared you are, you got to... And I remember taking that deep breath because I couldn't see where the enemy was coming from. I saw the flashes, but then everything would get blurry again. And the guy's telling me, shoot, shoot. And I cannot see where these guys are. So I was like, I'm not killing a kid. I'm not going to, because we're in the city. You know, Fallujah, they wiped out everybody. They made sure all the locals left. We had a population of everyone. Mixed in with the terrorists were just mom and pops. Kids running around during firefights. So I would aim for the floor. I would aim down until I saw the enemy. And for that first time, being able to shoot and pull that trigger, there's like a sense of safety that happens. And I was the rear truck. So for the next 7 months, I had no idea that I would be in firefights almost every day. We'd get hit with IEDs, and as soon as those IEDs would go off, it'd be like Groundhog's Day, RPGs, RPK fire, and we would do what needed to be done. Unfortunately,
Three. No, I'm just kidding.
No, do it.
3, 2, 1. Shane, we're on.
Yeah, baby.
We're live.
Yeah. We want to start off, though, every time. What are we doing Tuesdays?
Tuesday. It's a Recover Out Loud.
Yeah, it is.
Zoom
6,
meeting.
6 p.m. Pacific.
6 p.m., yeah.
Yeah, all are welcome.
You threw me off.
I know.
I don't know what happened.
I know. That's okay.
I thought we were going to do like a, if you need help, call.
Oh, well, we could do that, too. Yeah, toll-free numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? 1877?
No, that's not even close.
That's not even close.
We have a 949.
Oh, that's right. 1949.
Got to pull up on the Instagram.
Holy shit.
Just go to the Instagram.
Yeah, Chaddock.
No,
4 T's.
No, the Hopeaholics.
The
Instagram.
Hopeaholics.
Click to call. That's
Click to
all you
call.
have to do.
Okay.
You will get a hold of Shane.
Yes, you will. Fucking right. Ask for me
And
by name.
even if he doesn't answer, you can be like,
Is Shane there?
Is Shane there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's at Shane Earn.
Yeah.
Shane Earn.
Yeah. EARN, like earn a living.
Like earn money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
baby.
you need to be out there.
I really need to be out there. I got 3
I
kids.
I heard your job's on the line.
It's pretty close. That's the rumor, bro. Don't laugh. One's gone. Yeah. There's only 2 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So believe me, I'm hanging on. I'm definitely on the 3rd line. I've been off the 1st line. I'm back on the 3rd, 4th line. That's it. I sit the bench. I know, bro. Believe me. Fuck. The pressure's on.
Pressure is on.
And I do it to myself, too. It's the only way we live, you know?
that's okay.
That's the stress. That's the pain that I'm in right now.
Shane did some, he's trying to do viral videos now.
Yeah.
I like how you like punched at the, embrace the pain.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad one for my 2nd time.
It was pretty good.
It was not bad, yeah.
And I like the music that Michelangelo put in. It made it like, you know, he was really getting fired up there at the end, huh?
Yeah.
He's getting better, huh? Like there's another guy that like I watch every once in a while, and he like yells at the camera, tells people to do stuff. A lot of them yell.
Yeah.
I was actually what's funny is I post a lot of like just motivational speakers, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, everybody.
Yeah.
And my wife's, I hate those videos that you post. And I was like, what? Those are amazing. She's like, they're just yelling at you.
That's the guy thing.
I was like, dude, David Goggins is my favorite, and he yells.
Yeah.
He wakes you up. It's the coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls people names. I mean, whatever.
He says he says the B word also a lot.
What's that word? Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. He's mean.
he is.
He's mean.
Yeah.
If you're fat, he's going to call you fat.
He says if people are calling you fat, maybe
Bro.
you are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal honesty. I don't know if I don't agree with everything, but man, he can get me fired up.
Yeah.
He gets me fired up.
To the point of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
His story, you run out of excuses.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear his story, it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't have shit to talk about now, or I don't have shit to, make excuses.
Yeah,
about.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, how did he do? I want to know how he did it. How did he lose 90 pounds or 100 pounds?
100
in 3
pounds.
months?
It was
three months.
He was 300 pounds or 290 or
290,
something.
and he got to like 190.
Yeah.
So he could do the steel
Well,
Marathon. And then the marathon. Yeah.
He thrashed the shit out of himself.
Yeah.
So I should probably just stay like this. Okay.
So I was running on the treadmill. I had my motivational speaker on, and I was going for my all-time record. And right about I was at 30 minutes
Yeah.
on the treadmill. Great pace, crushing my old record. All of a sudden, I feel something in my ab tear, and I was like, "Fuck!" Fast forward to David Goggins, and I was like, he would just run through this. And I put him on,
Yeah.
and I just kept running,
Yeah, you did.
That's awesome.
and I kept running,
Yeah, he did. He did it. He did it.
and I beat my record because like I'm only in competition with myself, right? That's at the end of the day. Who else can we really truly be in competition with?
Yeah.
I'm in the competition with the guy from yesterday, and it meant something to me because I'm 49 years old. My all-time best record should be when I was like 29 years old or 27 years old, maybe even 30.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's 49.
Yeah.
But I have been injured ever since.
6 months later, you still fucking
That was
use-
in March.
He's still using a cane.
March.
Okay.
What if
Just put the
David
cane away.
Goggins, he said, wait, no, you should have just stopped.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
If I can get David Goggins on here someday,
That'd be fucking great.
I'm gonna tell him the story.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I was here. Because I've read his books, and I've actually done his audio books, which are more fun to me because like then they do a little podcast in between and stuff. And like, no, he's done marathons where
Yeah.
like
Broken feet.
his fucking ass was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
Bleeding from his anus.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
and he just kept going.
Yeah.
He dug deep inside of himself, and
We got to figure 150 miles if your thighs rub together, even for 20 of those miles, you're going to get chafed.
yeah,
So
You know,
many
so-
times people are just willing to give up.
Yeah.
They will use any and all excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a huge issue of where we're at right now. It's like you're giving up way too easy.
yeah,
When your body tells you to stop, that doesn't mean stop.
nope,
That's just a sign that says, hey, you're on the right track. Keep going.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I like the most, though, because like you can take that right there, and your body tells you to stop. It's actually your mind is telling you to stop, and you got to overpower this mind. You might have a little pain in your legs, your muscles feel sore and tired, and they're burning. I've run through the burn. You can
Yeah.
run through the burn, and then
Yeah.
they stop burning.
I feel that in the plunge. I go through that burn. For the first 2 minutes, I'm crying. I want to get out every time. That at the 250 mark, I'm like, fuck. Here we go. I'm in there.
Have you done the cold plunge?
I have not done the cold plunge, but I have been uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Being uncomfortable I feel like that is the only way to grow in anything
Yeah.
that we do. And once again, uncomfortability will create massive growth if you allow it to.
Yeah. I'm extremely uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah. I've been the last month. Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going hard. Really, like, fuck. Yeah. Just bad lately. Not mentally. I'm in a good spirits, and I know things are coming, but, you know,
It's been hard.
it's been a tough run. It's been a tough 4 or 5 weeks.
Let me ask you a question. During these 4 or 5 weeks, have you Have there been a few days where you didn't get up and go to the gym?
No. Fuck no.
You've gotten
even more.
You've gotten up every day.
Every day.
To the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kept your routine intact.
Yeah. Even on the boat, I was up doing exercise.
Like what? Burpees?
No, I was doing sit-ups, push-ups, and weights. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they had a gym.
They had a gym, little gym in there. Yeah.
Did you get seasick?
Not really.
No.
Just last day from that fucking lobster.
Just lobster sick.
Don't not eat lobster on the cruise trip. It takes 2 days to defrost on the kitchen on the shelf. Contains bacteria towards that time. You know, it's
Good to know.
so good. I'm still hurting.
Anybody else get sick?
My cousin Kai and my brother David. Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
He's been having the same issues?
Yep. Then he got the flu and his bones were it's a whole zoo at my house right now. It's nice though. Wouldn't have it any other way. Ralph.
Yes.
Ralph, no offense, bro, but you're not threatening. You have a beautiful smile face. You're very welcoming. You're a loving, caring individual. And yet I read your bio and you're a fucking animal. You know?
Well,
Like you did, like you've been places.
I feel like one thing I've seen along the way of, out of combat, I've counseled combat vets for the last 10 years. I've been a clinical social worker. That's been my full-time gig. And one thing that you recognize is you can see one Spartan from another. And the real Spartans, they will love like no other. Yeah. They will treat you with love and respect. And they don't, the grandiose it's not necessary, because there's that quote, I don't know if you guys have heard it. It's like, I have trained and done things that no one else will ever do, but it has created such a mild-mannered person, and it's taken a whole hell of a lot to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, and that's similar to
that quote that they said on that podcast.
Yes.
And this guy, I can't remember who the guy is, but it's this guy, and he's with Mike Tyson, and he says, I know Mike will understand this, but damn, I'm gonna blow it.
You're not gonna blow
the pain. No one will understand the pain. No,
violence.
No one will understand the violence that it took to become this gentle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Powerful.
I got it.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
It's a great quote, man.
Great quote.
It's crazy when, as a kid,
Yeah.
I wasn't a mean person at all.
Yeah.
And even going to combat,
Yeah.
I was not a mean person. But shit had to get done.
Yeah.
And you get to a place of like, you know what? It's me or them type of thing, but it wasn't it's me or them. It's either my brothers or I will go home a coward. And I wasn't going to go home a coward. So like I was talking to my 8-year-old son, his name's Uriah. You guys know what that name Uriah means?
No, tell us.
Powerful name. Uriah he's actually in the Bible, and he was one of King David's top dogs.
Oh, nice.
And he was the leader he was like the Navy SEAL of King David's army. And the one thing about Uriah was that King David said, whatever King David said, Uriah obeyed. And one day Uriah's out in the front lines, and King David sees Uriah's wife. Let's just say he runs into her at the market. Well, he ends up taking her home and getting her pregnant, while his leader Uriah is fighting, who's doing the honorable thing. Well, King David's trying to figure out what the hell to do, so he says, I got to cover my tracks. Let's bring Uriah back from the front lines. We'll have him have dinner with us, and he can sit in the castle with us, and, well, we'll have him sleep with his wife, and no harm, no foul. Well, what happens is King David calls for him. He comes back. Uriah comes back, and King David says, come inside, come eat with us. And he says, no disrespect, sir, but I can't eat the fine food with you and all these people, knowing that my men are out there fighting. I'll sleep on the outside of the walls. And that was Uriah. Honorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was talking to my boy about
That's awesome.
all that stuff and about combat. And
So is this King David that was David and Goliath?
yes.
Yeah. The song is also Leonard Cohen had a song made after that thing, right?
So
Hallelujah, King
so-
David. There's a verse.
so
in it.
David and Goliath.
Yeah.
So David became a whore.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
He became the king.
Yeah.
First he slays the giant.
Yeah.
Right.
Then so now he's a badass. Everybody wants him, right?
Everybody wants him. He loses his identity for a little bit,
Yeah.
and he forgets where he comes from. And I
Yeah.
think all of us go through those stages in life. And I think the most difficult thing was when God told him, he said, there's a difference between killing somebody and being a murderer. And King David was a murderer. In combat, there's so much killing that has to happen. But, that other aspect of war, it's like, I didn't want to murder anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to do my job and make sure my guys came home. Ultimately, yeah.
Well, tell us about tell us about your military career. How old were you when you enlisted? And
Cool. Yeah, so I was 19 years old. It was a funny story. I was at Mount San Antonio College, failing out of every class, and Twin Towers happens. And I thought a couple things. I thought, well, I could be a Marine like my father, or I could continue doing this college thing, try this out and see what happens. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the Marine Corps. And it was my 19-year-old spontaneous brain. I did not think of the consequences. I didn't think about anything other than the coolest part was saying, hey, I'm going to join the Marine Corps.
right.
But then I got there. And no lie, I was the littlest guy in my platoon. 5'3", well, about $150 at the time. And it was insane for me. I was raised by a single mom. So being away from home was one of those, it was uncomfortable, mentally challenging for me. But physically, it was a different level. So talking about being uncomfortable, I didn't know my body could go that far. I thought we were supposed to give up way before we did in the Marine Corps. So, went through the whole boot camp thing, and for some reason, I got sent to the most decorated battalion in the Marine Corps. And when you're decorated, that means you've gone to war. Everybody behind you's gone to war. And I was with the 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Twin Towers obviously already happened, and they wanted us to train up and go. So my original MOS was a 0352, an anti-tank assaultment, and that's like a tank killer. But we didn't use those. They gave us machine guns, and my job was to train up and be a machine gunner. So I ended up going through the invasion in 2003. Some of the stories, it's been so long ago, but I'll try to remember. There's a lot that's happened since then. But I felt like it was like 2 a.m, and we've been in a sand hole for like 56 days waiting to go through the berms of Iraq. And now we're just tired. We're angry. I think that's what the Marine Corps wanted to do. They wanted to piss us off so we can go in there and do damage. Well, I was with the CAT platoon, and our job was we had 5 trucks deep, and we drove through the middle of Ramallah oil fields in Iraq. And I have night vision goggles on. And as soon as we cross into these berms, we start taking contact, machine gun fire. And I just remember I was so scared, just a 19-year-old kid. All I thought about was, I don't want to hurt. I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hurt.
Yeah.
So I had a crucifix that my grandmother gave me. She said, Mijo, you hold on to this. And I remember driving. I was the driver of the Humvee, and I'm seeing people are screaming and yelling like, contact right, contact left, contact right. And I'm just holding on this crucifix, and I'm praying, like, for one, that it doesn't hurt, and for 2, that I don't screw up. Because I had a Gunny Googans from hell.
Yeah.
My name was Goddammit Sarabia. Every time we drove, it would always be Goddammit Sarabia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that first tour, and such a naive kid. You guys are gonna laugh. Like, we go through. It's about 24 hours later. We've taken contact. We've seen things that a 19-year-old kid shouldn't even see. You know, buses burned down, things like that, with the body still in them. But all of a sudden, I see these people with white flags, and they're waving their white flags, and I just start crying inside, and I'm like, thank you, God, the war's over. And everybody's like, Sarabia, the war's not over. These are prisoners. So we end up, taking care of the prisoners. We go through contact a few more times, and that war was easy. It was so easy. No problem. My second tour, I had no idea what I was going to experience. No idea. I was now a corporal in the Marine Corps, and I was a machine gunner. And my job was, we had 5 trucks, and we were stationed in a place called Al-Ramadi, Iraq. This was the most dangerous city in the world at that time. It was in 2004, 2005. The unit that we just replaced lost 47 Marines. It's either 47 or 42. And I wasn't sure what we were doing. I knew that we were going to be there, and we were going to escort log trains, basically take chow to other platoons. But ultimately, our job was to go find the bad guys, because they were all coming from Fallujah down to us. Within the first day, I was in my first firefight. The guy that was directing us, he was part of the unit that just lost 42 guys, and he has to do what's called left seat, right seat. And they basically have to show you around the neighborhood to say, hey, these are the hot spots where the bad guys are. So I'm up in the machine gun, and I'm not really nervous yet. I've been in combat before, but nothing like this. He just kept telling me, he says, if you see these guys, you better fucking shoot. You better fucking shoot. And I'm like, Raj, I got it.
Damn.
Yeah, no problem. But looking in this guy's eyes, like, it was life or death. It was different. So I'm looking around as we're driving down the city of Ramadi, and Route 295 was our main route. And this city was so small, and there's only like 3 or 4 ways to get around it. But everywhere we went was covered in IEDs, roadside bombs. Well, one thing that the enemy would do is they would wait for us. They would listen to the ground, and they knew exactly when to hit the trigger that they buried these roadside bombs in. So as soon as they hit that trigger, there'd be a huge explosion, RPGs, RPK fire, rounds are just coming left and right. I'm in the gun, and all I want to do is go hide in the Humvee like it was going to protect me. But I couldn't. And you don't know what you're made of until you're put in that position. And
So you're hearing bullets whizzing by your face, whiz, whiz, whiz.
Yes. The sound, that sound is a very unique sound. It makes your whole body tighten up. You lose your breath. There's no air inside your chest because you're so freaking scared. Mm-hmm. But as a Marine, we are trained to, like, you fight past that. You fight past that fear. And I remember like, even right now, you'll when you talk about the war, you'll get the same exact emotion. So my throat's getting dry right now. My heart's starting to beat fast. My body's starting to tighten up, and you feel like you can't even breathe. But you have to focus. You have to take a deep breath. No matter how scared you are, you got to. And I remember taking that deep breath because I couldn't see where the enemy was coming from. I saw the flashes, but then everything would get blurry again. And the guy's telling me, shoot, shoot. And I cannot see where these guys are. So I was like, I'm not killing a kid. I'm not going to, because we're in the city. You know, Fallujah, they wiped out everybody. They made sure all the locals left. We had a population of everyone. Mixed in with the terrorists were just mom and pops. Kids running around during firefights. So I would aim for the floor. I would aim down until I saw the enemy. And for that first time, being able to shoot and pull that trigger, there's like a sense of safety that happens. And I was the rear truck. So for the next 7 months, I had no idea that I would be in firefights almost every day. We'd get hit with IEDs, and as soon as those IEDs would go off, it'd be like Groundhog's Day, RPGs, RPK fire, and we would do what needed to be done. Unfortunately, we lost 16 guys. My driver was 19 years old. He was killed right in front of me. And this kid was just a 19-year-old little kid.
Yeah.
Like a child. And here I am. I'm only like 20, you know.
A year older.
Right. And
But you'd been to war already.
Right. War will change a man. And just being able to experience that, man, it's such a whirlwind of emotions. But that war was definitely a very, very pinnacle point in my life. It created the man who I am today.
As you're talking about this, I feel like I was reading. I don't read, but I do audiobooks. Jocko's book. Was he talking about Ramadi? Yeah, he talks about Ramadi in his book. And the other vet that we had was in Fallujah.
Yeah, Fallujah.
Right?
Yeah. Adrian?
No, the guy that used to work here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The one, he's in the middle of telling a war story, and one of those fell from the ceiling.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it fell in his head. Yeah.
Hit him
He
in
was
his head.
Yeah, he was sweating a little too while he was talking. It brings back.
You know
That's
what
just-
though?
I was just gonna say it's just scary. It is scary.
Yeah, it's scary as hell. I've never been that scared in my life. But you know what? That makes you such a solid person. I mean, you guys been through your own shit, and
Yeah.
you know that's what creates us human beings. And my compassion for people.
Right.
I've seen people at their worst.
I had a friend that was a gunner, Marine, and he ended up killing himself because as I got to know him more, he talked about going in there and when he was shooting, he was shooting, and he said I killed innocent people, and he said that was it. He couldn't handle it. And eventually he ended up killing himself. Got hooked on heroin for 10 years.
That right there will rock your world. Yeah. That just tells you how much, as Americans, we love people. We're not there to hurt people.
Yeah.
Like, you would rather kill yourself than hurt an innocent person. That should tell us something. We're not a bunch of animals.
No. Savages, but not animals.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had this one guy said he killed a few people too, like that, and he said he never came in, like he's still out there. I'm still talking to him, and he said they made me. I didn't want to, but they said shoot. Everyone was screaming at me, shoot, and I just, he said I sawed her in half. It was a baby. I was a kid, a lady with a baby. He said that I sawed her in half, and I can't get her out of my mind. That's what I sleep with every night.
So here we are. Your driver.
Yeah. Richard Chad Clifton, 19-year-old from Delaware. He was a headquarters kid, meaning that he's what we call he was a non-combat kid, kind of like the dorky kid that messed with radios. He was a radio operator.
Yeah.
Well, we had a suicide bomber hit our CO above all people. Just to let you know real quick, this is so interesting. When we first got to this combat post, it's called Hurricane Point, we had a captain. And our captain was the guy that freaking said he would lead from the front We're going to go over there and we're going to kill all these guys. The loudest one in the room. The minute that he drives around Ramadi, he gets hit with an ambush. He comes back and he gives his colonel his captain bars and says, I can't do this. So we had our own captain in the Marine Corps give up on us. So the new guy we got was Captain Rapico. And Captain Rapp was a bad son of a gun, man. They called him Frenchie. He had a really strong accent, but he was a leader of men. He would be the first one out and the last one in. And he didn't have to, but he would always go out and find the bad guys. And we had 60 Minutes with us when his truck was hit by a suicide bomber, killed 4 of the guys in the truck. And that was my company of guys. So I had to give up my radio operator within a couple months of being there. And I got this hungry, skinny, he had to be like 100 pounds, just wet. I mean, he was just skinny kid, annoying as all out. But there was something about this kid that he was hungry. So in the Marine Corps, they're like, well, Corporal Sarabia, you better train him up. We're going out in town tomorrow. And this kid has never driven with night vision goggles. He's never even driven a Humvee. Oh. So I have to drive this kid around for the next 4 hours teaching him how we operate. He got us lost once, but we did well. we did all right. So, yeah, but unfortunately that happened, and where he passed away, and it was very traumatic for me, but not at the moment. It's crazy where the mind will go when you need it to lead.
Yeah.
I felt nothing. All I knew is that our men, we needed to be solid and focused, because if we start getting distracted by another death, people are going to die. So as this nice kid from Pico Rivera, California, raised by a single mom, dad was in and out of the picture, I find myself praying before we'd go out on missions and leading these guys in one of the worst places in Iraq. And having that to look back on, I'm like, man, why would God send me to the worst place? And it's for times like this when I get to share that there's so many times I should have died. On paper, our lieutenant has me down at 23 roadside bombs that were within 50 feet of my truck. 23. And being able to walk away from those, man, those are miracles.
Yeah.
You can't say that this one time, this truck, it was crazy. We get hit by a freaking ambush, and we actually get locked in this freaking kill spot, and we can't move. And it's normally this never happens, but this happens on this one day because we were out hunting because one of our LTs was killed. I'll never forget. We all get locked in. I'm the last truck, and I see a sedan. They're like white with orange doors at this time. I see this sedan, and it's driving like erratic. He's about 200 yards away, but I'm looking just with my natural eye, and I see him and like 2 other guys get out of their truck or get out of the sedan, and they have RPGs. And I don't know this at the time. I'm just looking, and I'm like, you got to have positive ID. You got to make sure that these are the enemy. And I see them, and all I hear is doom, doom, doom. And I am seeing the smoke of these RPGs go right to my truck and going. Those things are direct. They don't really
turn. Yeah.
They don't turn. But yet I had about 9 RPGs go around me, hit the ground, go over me, and nothing. So I get to share stuff like that. I mean, I pissed on myself, but hey.
I would have probably pooped my pants.
Oh, for sure, bro.
That would have probably been one of the times I would have had a poop story.
Yeah.
I don't have any poop stories.
He was there for 7 months. I'd have had fucking 200 of them. You know?
Yeah, Canadians don't go to war.
Peacekeepers, bro. We're tough. We're peacekeepers.
Hey, that's okay.
You guys mount horses.
Yeah. We got a powerful army. No Navy.
Do Canadians ever go to war? When was the last time Canada was in a war? World War II?
Well, we joined peacekeeping missions, I think.
Peacekeeping missions?
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
That's all right.
You're
That's
American now.
I'm
so
American now. American
You're
strong.
American.
That's
Yeah.
Immigrant.
Yeah.
good. That's what this place
Yeah.
is all about. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
Canada. Yeah.
Canada. Who did they fight? Did they fight with the Americans? No, I'm just kidding.
It was close, bro. It was close. Canada did not let any Jews into this country. They were pretty racist back then.
You know what? Here's the thing. How come we didn't take over Canada right then?
Canada couldn't. We beat you guys.
You,
Yeah, we had a war against the Americas.
when?
We fought, and I don't know.
Is there? No, look it up. I've
Yeah,
never heard
we were
about
the
that.
English. You had the British.
Just go ahead and Google that.
Google that shit.
Yeah, Canada versus America.
There's
Canada
no way
won.
Canada will win
Telling
now.
you.
No way.
Well, it's a little late.
There's no way.
No.
Has Canada ever won a war against America? Canada won the War of 1812.
There you go.
Against America?
Yeah, for its independence. That was it. You guys never fucked with us again. Shit. One war is all it took.
Trudeau.
True that.
Trudeau.
True that. Shit.
That's as political as we get on this
Yeah, that's it.
podcast.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm about it.
Yeah.
We the only reason why I don't get political on my podcast is because I'm trying to bring this divided country back together to fight this fucking fentanyl crisis. You know how many people are dying every day from fentanyl?
No, I don't.
300 people every single day, and we haven't gone to war yet.
This is insane.
Yeah. They that's like an airplane going down every single day. A large airplane.
Yeah.
One of the big ones.
Yeah.
Not like
No.
not like just your
Wide
regular
body.
Yeah, the wide body. Big
Double
one.
decker wide body.
Yeah, like the one I took from here to Paris,
Yeah.
Where's it coming in from?
Mexico. But you want to know where it originates? Is China. It's from China. They send the actual chemicals to make it to Mexico. Mexico puts it all together, and then the cartels bring it across the border. And insane numbers. I mean, there was a bust yesterday of like 400 pills. I don't know if it was yesterday. I just read it yesterday. 400 pills.
I mean, 400 tons.
Was it ton? 400 million.
400 million. That's more like it.
Yeah, pills.
Yeah. Wow.
Not 400. That's just like, that's just like
400. I'm like,
I could
bro.
have 400 in my pocket right
Bro,
now.
that's what I was saying, you know. Shit.
Yeah.
We actually did an event, my wife and I, where we sell our boxing apparel and gloves, and it was for Riverside County Gang Enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive me if I say that wrong, but they were talking about the fentanyl crisis
Yeah.
and talking about the dealers, and it's scary because these dealers, they're right up amongst the regular population. They look like just a regular Joe Schmo.
Yeah. Yep. This has changed the whole face of what an opioid or a heroin user. This is 10 times more powerful than heroin, right?
Yeah.
It's like the most deadly drug on the planet, but it looks like a little pill, a little rainbow, pink, purple, yellow, green, blue pill. So it's not as scary as like, I got some black tar heroin on me.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's no good. It's no bueno at all.
I grew up around that. I grew up around heroin and cocaine. My father,
Yeah.
he was medicating his pain from Vietnam,
Yeah.
and I'd walk into his bathroom and there'd be coke on the mirror, the little dollar bill. I would tell my buddies, I would say, you're not hood until you've eaten your Captain Crunch with a burnt spoon.
God.
Yeah.
Facts.
Wow.
Hey.
Facts.
Facts right
Never
there.
heard that before. That was
Yeah.
a good one.
Let's
Yeah.
write that one down.
That was a good one. Mark that for sure. There's a smile on his face. He likes it. Say it again.
You're not hood until you've eaten your Captain Crunch with a burnt spoon.
Good.
Yeah.
You got it.
Hood.
Yeah, hood.
You ain't hood.
No.
You know you're hood if.
If.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna steal it, and I'm gonna.
Well, here's how that goes. When somebody has a saying or a phrase, once you've said it 3 times, it's yours.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love stealing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be like I'll be at the gym and I'll be listening to my motivational shit, and then I'm like, bam, that's a meme. So I go create I go create a meme. I got a like real fast way to create memes, and I just create a meme real quick, post it.
I can't do it, man. I gotta learn
how to create a meme.
Yeah.
Well, I just like doing. Well, I'll give you the app.
Yeah. There's an app.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
a little app.
Yeah.
And there's an app for everything.
Yeah,
Shane.
I know. I just
you gotta get with the times,
into it. I know, bro.
Jeez,
you figured at 38.
Do you see how he?
You figured at 38, I'd been to all this stuff.
Have you ever seen how he reposts the Hopeaholics shit? Like he makes it so big that he puts the he fills the whole screen. What is he doing?
Not supposed to do that? No, is that the bad way?
Then you can't tell it's the Hopeaholics. It makes it look like yours. I was really pissed that Solon posted your video, which was actually my video that he made really big.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, we'll do that.
Cut me off, man. It's fine. I work harder. Take it away. I'll claw more up. That's all right. You know
me.
To
make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, man. You know me. Shit.
And then I'm like going through Solon's story, and I'm like, dude, I made this big ass, long ass commercial.
Yeah. Great.
Posted it on my fucking, trying to get a sponsorship with Solon because I wear their stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Solon.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm cruising through their story, and like
I'm
like,
am.
There's me, but it's Shane. They reposted Shane and they tagged Shane Earn.
Yes, they did.
They didn't tag. They did tag the Hopeaholics too, but they didn't tag me.
No, yeah.
I got a problem with Solon. I'm gonna call him out.
I'd call Uncle Jeremy right now.
Yeah. I don't have his phone number.
I'll fucking get it for you.
Anyway, back to the
sorry,
story.
Little rant off the top there.
We do that.
Yeah,
No, I love it. I love it.
Keep it more. We feel like we're a mix between Joe Rogan and Logan Paul. If you've ever watched those 2 podcasts,
I could see that.
yeah. Joe Rogan probably would have stayed totally focused on what you were saying the whole time. Logan Paul and them wouldn't. They'd be like, Dude, remember that one time?
That reminded me of that movie, Saving Dora. You were the
fish?
The turtle.
The turtle?
Yeah, the turtles.
Dory.
Dory.
I don't know. It's called Saving Dory.
Wasn't it say? I forget the name.
Is it like a kid's movie?
Yeah, a kid's movie.
With the fish?
With the fish. Penguins, fish. Finding Nemo, baby. Yeah, that's it.
Saving Dora.
Saving
Dora. Finding Nemo.
Finding
That
Nemo.
might be a new one.
It could be. God.
Is that like the second? Like they had Finding Nemo and then
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory.
Yeah, I figured it was.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where were we?
We were 19-year-old.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the experience of the military. I really, really had an amazing time. I'll never forget, as we move forward, I was walking with 4 of my gunners, and we were walking to our little makeshift chow hall in the combat zone, and I walked to all of them, and I said, you know what? I said, it's an honor to walk alongside the most bravest men I have ever met in my life. And they said, shut up, Ralphie. I was that guy always. I was the mushy one, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? One thing with me is like, I always had a sense of humor. Like, I don't give a shit what's going on. Like on my birthday, they were singing happy birthday to me, and we had a freaking rocket land right in front of our hooch, within 5 feet. You want to know what the Marine Corps did?
No. I mean, yes, I do want to know.
They put caution tape. Fucking put caution tape and just walk around it. But I was that guy that would be like, hey, all right, they're giving me shit for my birthday. I love it. Or I'd be like doing dance battles with the guys before a firefight, like just.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah, I
good
don't
though.
know.
That humanizes it because, like, you got what if that was your? Here's the thing. Think about it. Think about this. What if that was your? So you're going to battle. Every time you go to battle, it could be your last.
Yeah.
Your last
hoorah.
last time alive.
Yeah.
How do you want to be?
Yeah.
But
Fuck.
Right
It's
before.
tough, though,
How do you
man.
want to be right before you die? Do you want to be pathetic?
Yeah.
Do you want to be, like down and like, oh my God, or do you want to be out having fun and being who you really are? I know what you would be. He'd be pacing around like.
Oh yeah.
That
I'd
is
be
the
walking.
most
I'd be
solid
walking the
thing.
camp. I'd be walking the camp all fucking night, 24/7. They're here, Ralph. They're here.
Somebody.
I've been up, bro. I've been up.
What you just said is so powerful. I don't think you even realize. To be alive 5 minutes before you may die
Yeah.
is so powerful because you got to think about it. This is the suicide stuff that we've talked about earlier. You will never feel so alive like right before you're in a firefight or even after. And the thing with me that I realized after all this time of every day, I'm like, I'm probably going to die today. Today might be the day. And it was just an ongoing joke. But I did say that to myself, that if I'm going to go, I want to make sure the last memories that people have of me, they're fucking laughing.
Yeah.
They're having a great time.
Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy about that? I do that shit to this day.
Yeah.
If I have an encounter with somebody, and this is sad at the same time because I have children. And I can tell you this, man. My kids, I treat them like it's the last day I'll ever see them. Every day.
Beautiful.
Every day.
You never know.
Yeah.
You really truly never know. And I know this for a fact because I was with my best friend. We were at my parents' house. We were having a good time. It was Labor Day, and we were having a barbecue. And Andrew, his little little son, was like, "I'm gonna go to the beach," and they were like, "All right, let's go to the beach." And they left, and then I left. And an hour and a half later, I got a call from my mom that Tony had jumped into a wave, and they found, and he never came up. Well, he came up,
Yeah.
but like
Mile down the road.
7 minutes later, about 400 yards
Oh,
down.
man.
Yeah.
Him and his son dove into a wave at the same time. And the wave must have hit him, knocked him back, knocked him out.
Wow.
And that was it. And that's what I'm saying. Like we could, and I say it sometimes, and I don't mean like, hey, I'm gonna die. But if I say like, I could get in the car right now when I leave here, and you might never see me again. So how do you want to see me? I don't want to be sad. I don't want it to be sad. I don't want people to remember me sad. I want their memories when they think of me like Chad was fun. I liked being around him. So that when they do have those memories, they have, they might have, sadness, but they also have joy, remembering. And that's just like what you were. I mean, I love that. Like doing fucking. Did you say dance battles?
Well, dude, I would be like, let's go. And they're like, I have pictures. I gotta send them to you guys. Like I'm just like right before a big ass firefight, and that's just how it was.
And then you come back from the firefight and you're probably doing the fucking running man because you were so grateful you're alive.
It's funny. After a firefight, we would get back and everybody be quiet, and it would be a nursery.
Really?
We'd all collapse.
Oh, wow.
Because the adrenaline.
So intense. I
So
never thought of it
intense.
that way.
We would collapse. And because your body, you're just like, it's the craziest feeling, but all of us fall right to sleep.
How many hours would these gun battles go on for?
So I could be so off when I say this because some of the firefights felt like 5 minutes. Some of them felt like 5 hours. And usually the the most intense ones felt like forever. And yeah, it's, you know what, you get lost though. You get lost in time. It's almost like you're not really there.
Yeah.
You're operating at a completely different level where time is not of the essence. It's just shoot. And that's it. Focus, communicate, shoot, move, shoot. And that was it. Yeah, but I hear that a lot. People ask that question, like, how long were these firefights?
As long as it took?
As long as it took to get us to a safe zone, get us back where we need to get to. But one thing I loved about the Corps is we got a call from the intel that said, hey, the Mujahideen, they want to kill us. And to be honest with you, I was scared 99.9% of the time, and I'd be like, inside it'd be like, oh man, they want to kill us. Oh no, this is not good. I'm the worry guy.
Yeah.
But I'll be laughing, you know. And it's my LT would be like, well, let's go hunting. I'm like, oh my God, let's go. And then we go hunting.
God.
But it's called instant willing obedience to orders.
And what is that? What was the gun that you shot?
It was a 240 Golf machine gun, 7.62 millimeter rounds. So they're probably like that big. That's the actual bullet, right? The bullet part.
No, the bullet part that I have is like that big.
What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried the 50 cal.
How's the whole thing is like this big?
Oh, it's like that. Probably.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit. There's the 5.56, and then you got the 7.62. Entrance wound. It's crazy when you say it. Like for a 7.62, the entrance wound is like this. The exit wound is like this. 50 cal. That's a different animal. The entrance wound is like this. The exit wound is like this.
Oof.
Depending on how far they get shot.
Uh-huh.
So.
What do you think about that?
Wow,
That's a painful day.
Honestly, I mean, you're either going to freeze in the fight or you're not.
Can you survive a 50 cal?
Yeah.
Like if it hits you, maybe if it hits your leg or something, but your leg is gone.
Oh yeah, the leg would be completely gone. Yeah. I couldn't think of that stuff. I was like, oh man, I just didn't want to think of that. I remember I got shot by a sniper. He didn't shoot me. It was right where I was standing in the middle of the Humvee. And I just hear, like, it was just like quick. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And before I knew it, I looked, and there's a hole like this right where it would have been my head. The guy was aiming for my head, but he hit right in between the Humvee. You know, like crazy stories like that. Shrapnel all over my shield, except where I was standing. I got knocked out from a daisy chain IED, going down the same road, and boom, it hits. I'm on my back. I come to. My face feels like it's on fire. There's lithium taste in my mouth. My heart is beating like crazy. I'm like, okay, what the hell just happened? And you guys see those movies where they can't hear after an explosion?
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened to me. And we have my corpsman in my truck. He's like, shout. I finally shoot, came back, and shrapnel was all over the Humvee, except where I was standing. It's crazy.
Wow. It's amazing, man. I don't know, like it takes a certain person to go back for the second time. The first one you get suckered in.
Oh, is the hat that you put on my desk was from this guy?
No.
Oh.
What does that say up there?
Putasos.
Putasos. You know what that means?
I think
you should.
I think it means boxing. Throw some gloves.
Ass kicking.
Ass kicking?
That's right.
Ass kicking.
That's
He makes
right.
those gloves.
Yeah, those are dope.
Yeah.
This is the most exciting part for me.
Is making the gloves?
Just talking about Putasos.
And we're going to get there, but you did some private stuff after you finished. You protected people. You did some exciting shit.
It sounds exciting.
Okay. Yeah. It's movie stuff signing. You know, like, yeah, all right. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, like I was like, oh man, I love just talking about it. Like I'm about to be like a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Who's gonna hire a 5'3" midget? I was like, man, they're not gonna hire me. Well, I ended up getting hired with one of the most prestigious companies in the world, Gavin DeBecker, and they protected people like Farrah Fawcett and all those high-end celebrities. So I get hired on, and my job is to protect the clients. And some of these clients were literally on the top, we'll just say the top 10 of the world, richest people in the world.
Wow.
That was a trip. Like just seeing the way these people live is completely different.
Right.
Having camel hair as carpet, like I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. I didn't know why that was so important.
Like as carpet or the rug? The whole carpet?
The whole carpet.
Weird.
Yeah.
Was it, did you ever walk on it?
Oh yeah.
Was
I had to.
Come
on.
That's why he got fired. He was lying naked on the carpet. He's left that part out. Yeah.
I would have been.
The selfie. Yeah, for sure.
I would have just been laying on it.
Yeah. Roll yourself up in it.
Like just at least one selfie.
Yeah, for sure.
Nude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have leaked it on the internet too. What do you think, Michelangelo? You would.
Oh man, yeah, I did that bodyguard stuff, and I worked for so many different celebrities, and you know, I as a kid, the thought of working with these guys and being able to travel with them would be amazing. But honestly, it was just you were like a chauffeur with a gun.
Wonder if you ever ran into my father-in-law. He did the same thing.
Really?
Same people.
Huh.
I'll say his name off air.
Okay. Yeah, Mikey. Gotcha. Yeah. So that was interesting. I really just, I wanted to do it just to get the shits and giggles out of it and, you know, tell some stories. But after a while, it was just exhausting. You're working 12 on, 12 off, 12 on, 12 off. We'd make a crap load of money, but we didn't have time to like hang out with our families or spend it. And I was... So you realize that like your priorities change, you know, from being a young kid before the military to, you know, after everything we experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then having a family and all that.
Yeah. 4 kids deep.
Yeah. That's a trip.
Yeah.
You know, I was raised by my mom, so I didn't really have an example of how to be a father.
Yeah.
I really, really had no idea how to tie a tie. I freaking went on YouTube.
It took me, yeah. Even if I go too long without wearing a tie, I forget. I'm pretty good now though, because I've been tying ties for years now. But
I'll still use the clip on. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, me too.
The zip up one. How about those ones? Those ones you actually put on.
Yeah, I bought my kid one of those
You
ones.
did?
Yeah, I did. Otherwise, I got to get behind him and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, because I know my son will ask me to tie his tie, and it's so hard to tie a tie from
It's impossible.
from this angle.
Yeah.
I'm like, turn around.
Yeah, yeah, go behind.
Either that, then and then what I end up doing is I just put it on me, tie it,
Take it off.
Yeah.
My
put
head's
it
too
on
big
him.
to do that. I tried that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it would be
I
way
got a
too
big
big.
head.
Yeah, you got a big old noggin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have my head's not that big.
It's pretty big.
It's not mine, is it?
No, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
Like egotistical wise, it's huge, but the actual head is not that big. Don't you know who I am, Shane?
I do know who you are, bro.
I'm Chaddick with four fucking T's,
motherfuckers. God, okay. Tell us about the gloves, man.
Tell us more than the gloves. Tell me, what's the story behind the whole...
So, Putasos is something significant, and for a long time, I've always just loved boxing. And, you know, speaking of, you know, where I grew up, and my father was actually from East LA. And before he got really heavy into the drugs, before my mom found out, I would get to go over there on the weekends. And one day my dad walked me in to this gym. I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I'll never forget. I walk into this gym. It was off of Lorena Street in East LA. And when I walk in, I see this vintage heavy bag and the smell of like just this different smell. It wasn't like sweat smell. It was just like old school. old school Rocky type of environment in there, and there's these guys that are working out and hitting the bag, and little did I know that it was Oscar De La Hoya's Resurrection Boxing Gym.
Oh, wow.
And ever since that moment, I started really just getting involved in boxing. I begged my mom, take me. So I finally got, I started working with, in the South El Monte Boxing Gym, and started learning the fundamentals. And it was something about boxing that just, it kept me sane. When you're a nice guy, we really don't want to confront. We just kind of just want to be. And we get angry, extremely angry, but it's internal. So the super nice guys are the ones we got to watch out for. So one thing that I would do is I would always hit the bag with my gloves. If I had one glove, I would freaking use it. You know, I never could afford all the gear, but I loved boxing. I loved the study of it. I loved to watch it. And so Putasos has been around since my grandfather. You know, you would hear them say, hey, you want me to throw you a putaso? Basically, that means...
I've heard that saying before. That's why I knew it meant something.
Right. It's like an ass whooping.
Yeah. So they're saying somebody, when they say that, they're basically saying, you want me to throw you an ass whooping.
Exactly. And in Mexican culture, if you look at Cesar Chavez, boxers are not runners. Boxers will go toe to toe. They don't retreat. They're always in your face, no matter how hard they get.
Well, that's the
hit.
Mexican boxing style. They really, they attack.
Exactly.
Yeah, they move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, after the Marine Corps, I started, I graduated from, after the Marine Corps, I ended up going to college, trying college, but 4 times I failed out of college. I couldn't do it. My brain was so jacked up from those roadside bombs. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting my bachelor's in psychology because I wanted to figure out what the hell was wrong with me since the war.
Yeah.
I got into USC with my master's degree, but not before getting kicked out my first year and going back and getting, graduating. So I've been counseling vets for over 10 years in trauma, specifically the stuff that I went through. Because I never want these guys to carry that burden of guilt and shame, the shit that they should have done, would have done, because it jacks us up. I dealt with a lot of suicidal stuff, just depression and anxiety. I couldn't go anywhere. But something about putazos and throwing punches, it really made me feel like myself. So the way Putasos came about is it was during COVID, and my buddy took me to Robert Garcia's boxing gym, and it was just a go. I haven't been in a boxing gym in so long, and I boxed in the Marine Corps a little bit, did a little smokers, 16-1. I love that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it was so much fun, man. But I go to this boxing gym and I see the guy sparring, and something happens inside me that I've never felt so alive. Like there was a joy, like that childhood joy that I didn't remember since I was a little kid. And I got like, my heart started beating fast, and I'm like, oh man, I love this. So lo and behold, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can start a business. I'm gonna sell shirts. So I would go through my logos of what I was gonna start it at, how I was gonna brand it, all this stuff. And it's like a passion project. I really didn't know what it was. So within like going to Robert Garcia's gym, I said, you know what? I told my wife, I'm going to start this brand. It's called Putasos. Putasos is throwing punches with the goal of inflicting maximum pain and damage. We throw putasos at PTSD, anxiety, depression, and whatever would hold you back from being the best version of yourself. Lo and behold, my wife and I made like 150 shirts. And I said, well, let's just see what happens. We'll throw them on Instagram, see if somebody likes them. We sold out of shirts within like 48 hours. Wow. I was like, no freaking way. So my wife and I ordered more. We kept selling out. And within a year, people are knowing about Putaso brand. Not that it's just a brand. It connects the heartstrings. It connects to everybody that's ever had a battle, the mental battle, the physical battle, the emotional battle. our gloves are all about fighting, throwing putazos at whatever would hold you back, and to be the best version of yourself. So lo and behold, I sell these T-shirts. Ultimately, I just wanted to go watch boxing fights and sell shirts, just for fun.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up getting hit up by a bunch of boxers, and they're like, "Hey, have you ever thought about designing gloves?" And I'm like, "I actually have."
Nice.
Well, Marines we're known to like never sleep, and we have a work ethic like no one's business.
Right.
I ended up designing gloves. I spent about $10,000 of my money to design gloves and find the right manufacturer. I wanted gloves that would speak to the masses. And within 7 months of designing gloves, I put in the application to get the gloves approved by the California State Athletic Commission.
Oh, good for you.
I wanted these to be pro. There's a bunch of great brands out there like Cleto Reyes, Rival, Everlast. But I was like, I want to be bigger than Everlast. Hey, you know what? I may never, but I'm sure as hell not going to like discount it. Hey, they did it in their lifetime. Let me see if I can do it in mine. So this became a passion project, and we got approved by the California State Athletic Commission to be the first veteran-owned fight glove on the planet. And our gloves, we've had 3 pro fights so far. I've been able to have the honor to sit down with Bernard Hopkins, one of the best freaking boxers in the world.
Yep.
And these guys are just, they love what our brand is, because our brand is reminding you, get uncomfortable, face your fear, put your pain into power. Go hit the bag instead of hitting the bottle. Go hit the bag instead of freaking going out there and doing drugs, self-medicating, whatever you're doing. Do something positive, because not only as a boxer, but as a clinical social worker, I've studied the way that the mind works, the way the brain reacts to dopamine. And man, if there's any type of therapy that you could be doing right now, it'd be throwing putazos at a boxing bag.
No, I agree, bro. I mean, the study is exercise is 3 to 5 times more beneficial than any
Antidepressant?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So we're with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys got to check out these gloves. So I want to share with you real quick the meaning. You guys have heard the story, but if you look at these gloves, they say Putasos fight to the end.
Yep.
Fight to the end means you never quit. You never stop, no matter how hard the battle is. Okay? But with that, I want you to look on the inside of the glove on that side, and you'll see it says veteran owned right there.
Yep.
There's a little star. There's stars around it.
Yep.
Those are the 16 stars of my brothers that we lost overseas.
Where's that?
Right here.
Right here. So whenever you see the veteran owned with the flag backwards, that means you never retreat. You always run forward. So anybody that wears our brand, that's what they're representing. This brand isn't for everybody. It's not for the sensitive.
There's sensitive people in the boxing world?
No.
Okay, good.
But anybody who's going to wear our T-shirts, wear our brand.
You want to throw some putazos? Shane?
I got a good right. That's the one thing I do. I was a one-punch guy. Like, I got a big hand, big palm.
Yeah, no, I know. If I actually, that's the only thing that scares me about you is how big your fist is.
Yeah.
If that thing connects, it's gonna fucking
nice,
hurt.
yeah.
Do you see his hand?
But it's a Canadian hand.
I know.
Yeah, lumberjack hands.
They usually just.
I'm kidding.
They usually just
slap.
There's nothing. I feel like there's nothing worse though than being open hand slapped by a man.
In the ear, right in the ear.
If a man ever open hand slaps me, we're throwing. How would I say it?
Putazo.
I'm gonna throw putazos.
Right.
Putazo.
Yeah.
Or walk away.
No.
There's nothing wrong with walking away.
Not if somebody slaps me. I will never walk away if somebody slaps me. And
As
Yeah,
video
I've seen those
podcasters, it's
slapping.
always so difficult to.
what was that? You just fucking hit like the
A little bit of PRN going on back there or what?
Oh, I
Oh,
love
this
this
guy's
stuff. I
just-
love this
This
stuff.
guy gets knocked out.
Oh my
You know, this is Dana's Whites now, right?
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He has no idea where he is.
See, I'm not willing to embarrass myself like that.
I would just
I
make
would
my
love
buddies
to-
keep me up. Keep my eyes open.
Hold them open. Don't lay me down. I mean, but let's see. Oh, watch this. I mean, look at these guys. Look at these are big, solid men.
Look at the size of this guy's neck and head.
They know exactly where to hit. It takes 4 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. So your jawbone is directly connected up there.
Yeah. So are they hitting it? Are they hitting it? So it hits up then.
They're hitting it perfect.
Well, look at the way this guy. Oh, that guy. Oh shit, he went out hard. Actually, I take that back. That's gnarly. I'm not doing that. But then what? Does that other guy get to slap the other guy back? Because I want to.
They get a 10 count. If he doesn't get up, then he's out.
This Dana White owns this thing
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Dana White's an animal. Yeah.
Wow.
Battles. It's crazy.
Dana White. I need him on my podcast, number one.
Yeah. I just listened to him yesterday.
But he
Bellman
is
walked out.
making a
Yeah, and
is
he
making
walked
a
out. He
killing.
said, I walked out of that hotel and I had nothing to fucking lose. I just shot for the stars, and here you are. Just like what you said, you shoot for the stars. You're saying you want to be bigger than Everlast? You got to shoot past everybody, bro.
Well, you know
Otherwise,
what
we're all
you know what
average.
we say? We say we want to be bigger than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
We're a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
We just want to be bigger than Joe. We want to be bigger than Joe Rogan, and we have a reason why. And it's not because we just want to be bigger than Joe Rogan and we want to be like famous. We don't. We want everybody in the world to hear. Not in the in the world.
In the
Fuck
world.
it.
Fuck yeah.
Then people could do.
Oh, yeah, translate.
Translate.
Oh, yeah,
put it in
fucking
different
A.
languages.
57
because-
languages. Podcast, broadcast in 58 languages.
Because we want to stop this fentanyl crisis. We want to stop the veterans from getting shitty care.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fair. It's not fair that I have better health care than a veteran. You know, through the VA, my health care, I can get into any treatment facility within 4 hours. You want to get a veteran some really good private mental health treatment. It's a fucking nightmare. Hoops to jump through. Not fair. Not okay. People die because of that. As a matter of fact, I'm like really pissed off. Like I'm pissed off because we're part of the not the Hopeaholics, and I should clarify. But we are I do have facilities that are part of the community care for the VA, and they used to be really good at referring and getting the veterans the help that they deserve. I don't even say need, but it's the help that they deserve. They need it, but they deserve it as well. And then recently they made some changes, and we had a veteran who was an alumni who was really, relapsed, was in a bad way, was trying to get in. The VA was slow rolling him. An intervention. His family called an interventionist because they hadn't heard from him in a couple of days. So the interventionist went over with the family to his house, opened the door, and it just smell. He was dead. He was dead because there was no referral written to an outside. They had no beds available. They had no way. They had their beds were full.
Yeah.
They put him off for 2 weeks. He kept drinking and drugging. And it pisses me off, man.
This right here is something so, it's one of those things I never talk about, and it's so frustrating.
I typically don't talk about it because it's because I live in a little bit of fear of the Veterans Administration, but this one pissed me off. And I can tell you that those particular VAs are under investigation by the House Committee on Veteran Affairs.
Good.
And I know this for a fact.
Good. The whole deal with, you ever heard, I'm sure you guys hear this all, from other people, as they'll say, hey, thank you for your service. Okay. Thank you for your service. I didn't know how to respond to that. But thank you for your service it's just somebody wanting to say something, just, they want to show their appreciation. I get it. But when less than 1% of our population of the United States has served in combat, and yet they don't get the care that they deserve,
It's horrifying.
How in the world does that happen? How many people say thank you for your service, but that's as far as it goes?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is that the reason why the military or the VA hospitals aren't doing more, it's not because of the people. It's because you're serving Spartans, and Spartans don't complain. Spartans don't say, well, I wish I had better care.
Well, yeah. Well, they have a rule at the VA that you can't act out. That if you act out, they'll take you right out of the VA. You're not getting the care that you deserve, and you stand up for yourself and get angry, you are removed immediately. I get angry because I have mental health issues. I have PTSD. I'm not saying me. I'm being a veteran right now,
Right.
But I get angry. I have PTSD from childhood trauma, and like that is those two things. Like, our government isn't doing enough to fight this fentanyl crisis. They're also not doing enough to fight addiction and alcoholism and mental health issues in general, and they are not even coming close. Not even close to giving veterans the care that they deserve. Not even close. If I have a torn meniscus, right? I can call, this is my insurance. I can call my orthopedic surgeon. I don't have to call my primary care doctor because I got a platinum PPO policy. I can call my orthopedic surgeon and say, hey, can I get an appointment with you? He's like, yeah, I got an appointment open like tomorrow or the next day. I'm in. I get my MRI within like a few days. Get the results of my MRI within a week.
Yep.
I could be in surgery for just a torn meniscus. We're talking about something that doesn't even have to get repaired, right? But I can have it repaired in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I'm that's not,
You guys wouldn't believe what just recently happened to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is a combat vet. He's a Marine, served in Afghanistan. I mean, he was bad son of a gun. He's got such a remarkable story. He was addicted to meth after the military.
mm-hmm.
And he went through 6 years of just back-to-back, like just near life and death situations with meth. And he ended up getting sober, doing it cold turkey. Well, he goes to the VA because Knucklehead was riding a go-kart with no freaking seatbelt and decided to do a couple little spinners, right? Just knocks it over, kind of dislocates his elbow. I was right there with him. For the record, he didn't cry. And he ends up going to the VA. The chief surgeon does surgery on his arm. And he comes out of surgery and he cannot feel his fingers. He's in the most excruciating pain. And it takes almost two and a half weeks to get them to take another look at his arm. And he's tried every medication known to man, and obviously nothing is working.
Mm-hmm.
A part of that is past drug use. And anyhow, the doctor says, we're going to have to go back in there, the chief physician at the VA. And he says, well, what happened? He says, I think I cut your nerve.
Oh, fuck.
And my brother-in-law, he's cool, calm, and collected. He's like, "What do you mean, doc?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I cut your nerve. Yeah, we're going to have to go back in there. So we'll make an appointment for Monday." Like it's nonchalant, like it's no effing big deal, right? Well, one thing with my brother's sobriety is that he repairs 67 Mustangs with his hands. And he can't even use his freaking right hand. They go back in there. And my brother tells me, he's like, "I woke up crying." I'm like, he's like, "I looked at my hand and they cut him from his fingers all the way to his armpit and opened it up.
To put it back together.
They
get it?
We're going to see.
Oh, shit. This is recent.
Yeah, this just happened.
Fuck me.
And
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. You guys should be able to go see my orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
Not the
best of the best.
He is.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody better than this guy.
Yeah.
I've trusted him for he's a top-notch guy. I won't go to anybody that's not top-notch. That doesn't have a track record of amazingness.
Yeah.
Cutting me open to repair something? F that.
Yeah.
And see, that's what pisses me off. And that's why, like, I'm willing to fight all the way to the end. I love that. I really am. Like,
if not you, then who?
nobody. I mean, somebody, but nobody. You know, it's like and that's why this podcast is like, you know what, we you know, and we just want people to stand beside us, you know, bring this divided country back together and fight back against these stupid things. They want to politicize everything. They want to politicize fucking fentanyl. They want to make it like, oh, it's Joe Biden's fault now because he's president and he stopped the border wall. Well, fentanyl was coming in and when Trump was in office as well. So how about we actually do something about it? Like, both sides need to stop. They need to stop. You know, I'm tired of it, and I have a side, and so I can talk shit about my side, right? And I'm not okay with the way they're treating it. They get on the news and they yap, and they don't do anything about it. They just yap, and it's like we could send down. Just your how many is in a platoon?
20, 23.
Okay, what's bigger than that?
You got a company, 150 guys maybe.
And then after that is the
Bro, you could always send in the company.
Just the company?
Yeah, man.
The company could probably could handle
a cartel?
the entire
I would think
border crisis.
Yeah.
With all the weapons and machines and
intel
and
birds in the air.
And it's interesting, our country is divided. You guys heard that quote that when a house is divided, it won't stand.
Yeah.
And people are being distracted by all of these.
It's crazy.
The political stuff. And it's like, wait. If we do not lose our mind, we can actually make some shit happen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm waiting to see when's the Civil War.
Oh, I thought it was going to, honest to God, I thought that it was going to happen in 2020. If we were ever going to have a civil war, it was 2020. You know, I'm not saying that it couldn't still happen again in 2024. I mean,
but you have people that are extremely angry, but strategic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't even know. And I honestly believe that, like, here in the next few months, we're going to see some stuff just start to turn over, especially with this new movie that just came out.
Well, and I'm agreeing with you saying. You want to hear the conspiracy theory my wife brought home last night with this new movie?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
So what they're saying is they're scaring the women right now so bad with this movie and with the possibility of getting your child kidnapped that they're going to, in the next 6 months to a year, come out with a children's chip. So we could track your kids wherever they are. Don't worry if they get
That's actually all in the book of Revelation.
Don't worry if they get kidnapped, because within 30 minutes we could know exactly where your child is through this location chipping. I'm just saying, this is what the conspiracy
We're already
theorists.
chipping dogs.
That's here we are.
We're already chipping Dales.
I'm not chipping. Yeah, we are Chippendales. We are Chippendales. Mark that one. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, I grew up in a really like crazy religion. Like I was a Seventh-day Adventist. Have you heard of them? I mean, I'm not saying they're crazy. They're not crazy. They're just it's very conservative. It's like the Jewish Christian version of the Jewish religion.
It's a Jew on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they loved to scare us when I was a kid.
Oh
man.
yeah, of course.
You know, like because when I was a kid, heavy metal was,
yeah, sign of
Dude.
the devil. Yeah.
you know, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
666.
Yeah.
The number of the beast.
Hell and fire are
Yeah.
going to be released.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, great fucking song.
Right.
I loved Eddie.
And I mean, they were like, it's coming. They're gonna put they were saying like they were gonna tattoo numbers on us.
Yeah.
That's what they were telling us. They didn't know. This was like in the 1980s. As you know, they were telling us what was gonna happen. They didn't know what technology was gonna be like in 2023.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they don't have to do that. How do you guys pay for stuff nowadays? How do you pay for something?
Only my phone.
You use your phone?
Yeah.
Or if you do happen to need to use a credit card, you just tap it.
Yeah.
Tap it.
Yeah.
They could put that same chip right
Of
here
course.
on your
They're
arm.
already doing it.
Yeah.
Some European country, they already have it in their hand.
Yeah.
I also heard that they are developing a chip that can connect with the brain, that can connect with the internet. What's it called? The Neuralink?
Yeah,
The Tesla. Oh, Elon Musk is involved?
it's his design.
Oh,
Nice.
he's the devil.
I like Elon.
You know what?
What?
Have you ever, because I know you're Jewish, so,
Yeah.
so I don't know how far you guys go, but
Pretty far.
there's a thing about a false prophet.
Yeah.
That's when the world is supposed to end, right? Because everybody starts to believe in this false prophet,
Yeah.
and that false prophet, they think that false prophet is the savior.
Right.
They think it's the second coming of Jesus,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's the false prophet,
Yeah.
and everybody goes to the false prophet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying about Bill
Do
Gates.
you know? Had you heard about that?
No.
No,
Just now I did.
for the first time.
For the first time.
So that's not. You guys don't talk
Not
about.
that I can remember.
How about the first coming?
No. No.
No,
No.
no. Okay.
No.
All right.
I believe.
He believes.
You know, you've heard what I just said. You've heard about what I just said,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My mom was, Christian, and she's Christian, and our relationship is like, hey, you know what? You got to figure this out with God.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to know who He is, you search Him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
Mom, we could influence our kids like no other.
Oh yeah.
I'll share with my kids the goodness, the good stuff, but I want them to know, like, figure it out yourself. And you know what? You're gonna come up and you're gonna figure it out.
I love that because I feel like religion gets a little wacky, and if you just have that relationship with God, it becomes a personal relationship. I got a little bit of twisted morals and values that sometimes conflict with each other because of my a little bit crazy, very, very conservative religious. Like we weren't no meat, no jewelry except for a wedding ring, definitely no tattoos, no piercings,
No pork.
no pork. No, we were vegetarians.
Yeah.
No what? No meth for sure. Yeah. No crazy.
Yeah, you broke all the fucking
rockin'.
rules, man.
Oh, I've broken
You broke 'em all.
every rule of the
In the
Seventh
book.
Day
Yeah.
Adventist.
Yeah.
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 So now,
And you're living to tell about it.
now I just have a regular, just a relationship with God. I just keep it simple. And sometimes I'm in conflict with myself. That's okay.
That's actually a sign that being in conflict with yourself, because you're fighting the stuff that's been in the Bible, talking about, like, if you don't have the Holy Spirit in you, or if you do have the Holy
You're
Spirit,
not going to
in you,
fight.
you're not going to fight.
Yeah.
Like Paul, the apostle, says, everything I want to do for God, I don't do. And everything that I do, I don't want to do.
do.
I'm like, dude, that's totally me.
Yeah.
It's true. And if you're not in conflict, then you're probably not part of the crew.
I like that.
Yeah, so do I. You're not a believer if you're not in conflict, because there's bad out there. So you have to be in conflict. There's always a decision to make. Always.
So true. I learned a lot from being in combat. You know, about the warfare and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Completely, like, it's the same. Yeah. It's the same. Like, anytime you confront combat, it's scary. But you got to be strategic in anything that you do.
Well, man, I really love your brand a lot. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a few more shirts.
It's like kick ass. Is
yeah,
what
it is. It is kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
It's,
made the
it's
arms.
a kick ass brown.
You made
brand.
the arms tight.
Huh?
He made the arms extra large, just loose in the stomach, tight in the arms. He doesn't like the tight shirts.
Is that exactly how you like it?
That's exactly how I like it.
I wanted to design them like where it's going to look good on me. and this lady in Laverne, she designed the shirts for me, and she really just helped us out, my wife and I. And man, we're coming out with different brands or different T-shirts. But one of the coolest things is probably how many people are loving the brand.
Have you ever been somewhere and saw somebody wearing it and you were like, ah, cool?
That is the coolest thing. Yes, every freaking time I go to a fight, it's been on some of the most famous boxing matches in the world. The cornerman's wearing the Putasos shirt, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
That's cool.
The reason why the Putasos brand is going so well, when I was a bodyguard, you have to be like stoic. But when I was in the boxing world, I'm just me.
Yeah.
I share my stories. Yeah, I've been through some shit. I'm not, sometimes I'm not all there. And you know what? I go through depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. But I really love people, and I really, really believe in the brand. And anything that I do with this brand, it will be with integrity.
Yeah.
Because I can't sleep at night if it's
Yeah,
not.
that's good.
And my wife and I are huge on customer service. Like, we walk into a restaurant, and if we don't feel like they're, taking us seriously or just saying, hey, hi, how can we help? We'll go somewhere else. So with our customer service, with everything that we're doing, we are the fastest growing fight brand in the state right now. And it's just my wife and I.
Nice.
So I got big dreams for it. I want to see the Mayweathers and the Ortizes and the Garcias, whoever. I want people to know that our brand is just about getting up and fighting back and not sitting there and moping, because you have so much on the inside of you.
Yeah. I like it. Your brand represents like true, like really what America is.
Yeah.
And instead of this new America that I see out there, that's like, oh my God, I'm triggered. Fucking triggered.
I know.
I am offended, but you said triggered.
Yeah, right. Right. You call me sir.
Somebody said,
my gosh.
somebody said like triggered the other day. And I was like,
Holy fuck.
they were actually talking about like drugs though.
Yeah,
I
still.
think it was on a podcast. And then and I just like went, like, sometimes I'm gonna be in the podcast, somebody will say something and I'll go off into a tangent in my head, and I was like, then I'll come back and I'll be like, oh shit,
I'm alone. I'm all alone talking to myself.
in
Shit.
a fucking podcast.
All right then.
I can still hear their voice in my fucking
Yeah, for
headphones,
sure.
but I'm like thinking about fucking triggered, how that word bugs me.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, dude. Like, you're triggered. I just triggered you. Like, let's fucking.
I know.
I mean, if it just bugs me that somebody can like be all triggered, but they can't fucking fight to the end.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I tell the guys, my clients that get triggered, right? I tell them, listen, I was like, your emotions, it's like a remote control, okay? You are basically, when you allow somebody else to piss you off, you're basically giving the remote that you have in your hand, you're giving it to them.
Yeah.
And you don't even know these people. Somebody on the road maybe cut you off,
Yeah.
and now you're pissed off for the whole day.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's his problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
you
That's
give
the
them,
one thing that does trigger you.
Trigger. Oh yeah, people on the road.
On the road.
Oh yeah, they're bad drivers out there.
Or is it you that's a bad
No,
driver?
no.
I was
I'm
gonna say it, but I was
I'm
like,
exceptional. I'm exceptional.
You can say it.
you
I'm
might get
exceptional.
offended. I don't.
Don't be offended. No,
Okay.
I don't get offended.
He fights back.
Yeah.
He throws
I throw horns. With the elbow.
Putasos.
Putasos. I don't fight. I walk away. I drive away. I don't honk.
It's kind of like I mean, okay, so puta is a bad word.
Yes.
Puta.
I'm glad you brought that up because this is a part about people getting offended.
Yeah.
So as soon as somebody sees puta, they're like, oh my goodness, you're saying a bad word. And it's like, no. Read the rest of it.
So
Putasos. And so many people, like, they look at the shirt and they go, oh my gosh. But when they hear what our brand is about, that we are a veteran-owned, that we're Americans, and we're doing some quality stuff.
So it's not Puta-SOS.
Exactly. I can make a shirt like that.
Yeah.
So you work with veterans. Sorry, I'm going to just go into another few minutes. I know we're wrapping up. So you're working with veterans the last 10 years. We have 3 licenses. 2, mental health primary. Drug addiction is not a necessity. We focus on PTSD and trauma.
Wow. I had no idea.
Through the Veterans Administration, 1 in Palm Springs, 1 here. We also have 1 other license through the VA for Tri-West Healthcare Alliance, which is VA-based insurance. Veteran-based insurance is dual diagnosis, primary addiction, alcohol and substance abuse. So if you're working with veterans on a continuous basis and they need something in-house to live, we're the spot.
Yeah, you've heard of the Community Care Network?
I've heard of the Community Care.
We're part of the Community Care Network.
Wow. Yeah.
So we have three different facilities. 2 mental health and 1. So the substance abuse is really large. It has up to 80 beds.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Right, you're sitting in it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have currently veterans in house.
Yeah. And we're just now opening up Palm Springs. We haven't
got our first client there yet, but
started.
We've probably done well over 120 clients.
Yeah, for sure. In the last couple of years,
year and a half.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Inpatient.
Our longest 1 year. So we had 1 guy stay. So we're 1 day to 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have any or know any veterans that we're not allowed to solicit. So we when I say this to you, I'm not soliciting. I'm just letting you know about it. So, but if you do know somebody that needs help,
we're here.
They can. We can talk to them, the veteran, if they reach out to us, and then we have to guide them on how they go back to the VA. Preferably, well, depending on which VA, all of them are different. They all work differently. They either go through their PCP to get the referral, or
social worker,
or a social worker, and then bam, depends on which VA. It takes 2 days to 6 months.
Yeah,
depending on which.
Absolutely,
100%.
Absolutely.
But we stay and work with them and hold their, just help them, guide them without violating any of the massive rules that I got to always clarify with that, because it's like, you say one thing wrong verbagely and the VA wants to,
cut your nuts off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something. Man. I know you're working for 10 years, so you must have literature. You must have some substance behind what you're doing.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said you've been working for 10 years with veterans. I mean, so you're really heavy with the PTSD and trauma and what they need.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, maybe send us over what you're working on, and who knows? I mean, maybe there's a class here or something with veterans. We can bring you down once a month, or do a group with our veterans on a certain subject once a month, and really,
Did you say you were a clinical social worker?
Yes.
Yeah.
An LCSW?
I am a ASW.
ASW.
I just passed my law and ethics.
Nice.
To be honest with you, that was the hardest test for me. It took me 4 times to pass it.
Cool.
But I finally passed it.
Kind of like my citizenship.
Yeah, he had to call a friend.
Yeah. Gotta say, America.
He couldn't remember what the first 3 words in the United States Constitution are.
We the people.
You know what though?
He called me up after and he was like, "What is the first 3 words in the Constitution?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know." I had to, honest to God, I had to Google it, and then I was like, "Oh, fucking idiot."
Yeah,
I did know.
Passed the second time though.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to America.
America.
You got to stop talking weird though, because I don't know what the out.
You want to go out. Yeah, so we'll get together for sure after this. We'll get some business going, and we'll, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely,
man. Right on.
I just want to thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, it's great.
It was
good time.
Yeah, thanks for coming, brother.
Thanks
Appreciate
for telling
it.
your story.
Absolutely.
Boom.
It's an honor.